I have rewritten this video 3 times now because I don't understand how to get across the confusing nature of what I just experienced. I was at a theater with my fiance when we saw a trailer for Madam Web, and she said, "Oh, that's Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. We should see that." I mean, I wasn't particularly excited to see the movie. In fact, it was actually the opposite. I was terrified. I'd have nightmares. My sleep paralysis demon looked like Dakota Johnson's forehead, but I decided to just suck it up and book 2 tickets on Valentine's Day when it came out. But nothing really could have prepared me for what I experienced. It was like the worst Marvel movie ever. So naturally my head was spinning when I heard, yeah.
I thought I liked Spider-Man, but no.
You like this more than Spider-Man?
Way more.
What?
I want to watch it again.
I'm leaving you. And if you have a heart, please subscribe and like the video because I watched this so you don't have to. Let's dive in. Let's just start off with this guy. Who is this guy? Why was he in the movie? It felt like he was just kind of there. But fun fact, his real power is actually his inability to act, making you want to leave the land of the living just so you can get away from his acting. And I swear to you, half the lines that are coming out of this guy's mouth are not the lines that we're hearing. I have no idea how this happened. This guy is just so non-threatening. Not to mention his shaky motivation for being evil, which seems to only be as a result of the dream that he keeps having every night, showing him his death at the hands of these 3 soon-to-be Spider-Women. So even though he's never seen these women before and frankly doesn't know anything about them, he decides to try and hunt them down and kill them. It's so deeply disappointing that these visions are the only place that we get to see these 3 women suited up and fighting with their powers, but that also raises the question, why are they killing him in his vision? They never answer that. I mean, I get that he's a bad guy because we saw him in the beginning of the movie killing Cassie's mom for the spider, but why are we breaking into his apartment and killing him while he's in his jammies? It doesn't seem very heroic. Also, why don't the visions reflect how he actually dies in the movie? At the end of the movie, we see him fall off a warehouse and get crushed by a sign, but in the visions, we see him falling out of his apartment and dying. From a storytelling perspective, I just don't really understand why you would be teasing this death scene just to have it not happen. The only plausible explanation for this is that his death at the end of Madam Web isn't actually his death, and they're gonna stick it into some media later on, whether it be a film or a stupid TV show. But why? Why would they do that? I don't want to see that. And you, they gave us no reason to care about you. We didn't get to see them with powers. Except for in the vision, but they forgot to put the good part of the movie in. And the only backstory that we have on them is that they're all loosely connected because none of their parents care about them. I don't care either. Why do I have to sit and babysit these 3 while their parents are off somewhere cool like China or dead? Okay, that's a little harsh. But seriously, these 3 don't serve any purpose besides filling the stereotypical roles of the timid one, the smart quirky one, and the rich rebellious one. Oh, and Dakota Johnson, poor thing, she didn't deserve any of this. I think she was great with what she was given to work with. I mean, her lines were delivered passionately and genuinely, and at points it really made her feel like the only real human in this movie. Like when she asked the question to herself, why would you flip off an ambulance when the rebellious one flips off the ambulance? I swear some of these characters are aliens. Dakota really tries her best to shine a light through this mire of disjointed storytelling, but even she can't help but get dragged down by cheesy, over-explanatory dialogue that plagues this film. There's a specific scene where her character is figuring out her abilities to see into the future, where a bird flies into her window, cracks it, and dies. Up until this point, she'd believed that she couldn't change the future, that she could just see it. So she decides to test the theory by opening the window to see what will happen, not fully believing that it's going to change anything. Consequently, we see the bird fly into the apartment and fly back out, unaware of its new lease on life. This was easily one of the best scenes in the movie. It was well written, it was self-explanatory, just didn't need any dialogue. That's what I thought until the reality of what movie I was watching set in. They just had to ruin it with a stupid one-liner where her character says, "Huh, I guess you didn't have to die." Trust me, we got it. The bird didn't have to die. This isn't a school play. You've got a massive production budget and special effects and everything telling this part of the story. So you don't have to spoon feed us and say, well, I guess the birdie can flap its wings another day because I can actually change the future. Yes, Dakota, good job. We're all on the same page now. Now, why would anyone like this movie? This is the part that I really had to rack my brain over. I had to ask Summer's opinion because I really just wanted to understand and what she saw in the movie, because if there's some redeeming quality, I'd love to know about it. One of the reasons she gave me for liking the movie was that she felt that it wasn't your typical booby-bouncing, male-pleasing, action-heavy superhero movie that she disliked. She felt that Dakota Johnson's character, Madam Web, was more grounded because she got her powers in her 30s, so she had a lot of life to live and she was already more mature. Although I think she's absolutely right that having a more grounded female hero is a great idea, I just couldn't help but feel that unfortunately it was only the idea that was present in this movie. The execution was just not there. The characters just felt sloppy, all the plot points didn't feel like they were connecting to each other well, and unfortunately just the idea of a good movie wasn't enough to save this one. Let me not bother you with more details about this mess by steering you towards a much better cinematic experience with similar concepts that won't make you wish you could go back in time and change your Valentine's Day plans. Terminator 2! Let's just face it, Madam Web is ripping off this movie anyways. They're both about a hero who uses time travel to save someone who's meant for greatness in the future, but who's being hunted by a different time traveler who's trying to stop the unwitting target from becoming the hero they're always meant to be. Never did I think this would be compared to this, but this is the world we live in, so deal with it. Arnold is the sickest motherfucker in this world ever. He likes to go pew, 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 and then he says, "I'll be back." And I'm pretty sure at one point he throws a guy on a grill with his pee-pee hanging out, and the guy gives him his motorcycle and all his clothes because he thinks he's so cool. I ain't seen that happen to Madam Web. I'm begging you, instead of spending $20 to go watch My Damn Web, start up a 7-day free trial of Paramount Plus, watch Terminator 2, and with the rest of the 6 days and 21.5 hours of your free trial, go watch SpongeBob. You'll have a better time. John Boss out.